Hello and welcome to the EVE Online Alliance tournament. 40 teams, 5 men in each. The winner will receive a mothership, 5 carriers and a whole host of Navy Ravens.
Round 1. Versus Veritas.
The Veritas boys. Bob have been known to actually do rather strange things. Not uncommon though is KO Sony in a Navy Raven. It's like the staple diet of butt kicking. We've also got Gunstar, who's in a Flycatcher. That seems to be a popular choice for the Destroyer class. We've got DB Preacher in a Vulture, which is the one of 2 classes for the Battlecruiser Caldari versions. We've got Kookman in a Scimitar, which is a support ship giving huge tracking bonuses. Coupling that with the command ship, they should be able to shoot the wings off a whatever, anywhere. So it should be quite interesting. We've also got TWD. I was quite nasty about TWD last time because every time we basically saw TWD and Bob fight, TWD always, and me always, ended up in a pod. But he's a good guy. He knows what he's doing. He's also in his favourite Ishka, which is obviously an assault frigate with a little bit of drone action to throw in for good measure.
Most definitely. Veritas Immortalis, not pulling out on their battleship class, a faction ship. We have a Tech 1 Raven. We have a... And who was flying that? That was Light Darkness in the Raven. We had...
I'll go.
Correct. We have Elvirus in the Nightwalker.
Daywalker, yes. Daywalker, primary target, yes.
In a Cerberus.
I'm getting fired by 2 ships.
Cyrus in the Wolf. And
Got my drones
Daywalker
ready.
in the Flycatcher.
Pitiful
And
damage.
yep, we are off.
Set my drones and Cookman.
It looks like Kookman's getting a...
Looks like all of them are coming for me.
Keep one alive.
Daywalker is gone. We have our
Krellian is next target. Krellian is the target.
Down fast. Bob went for the
Krellian
jugular
target.
and took out the small boys. I was expecting to see that happen in the 5 round. So that was a first kill. They
Gonna need a bit more shields.
The first 10 seconds.
Kookman's still...
Give all shields you have to one.
Huge amounts of shield maintenance drones flying around him, so he should be okay for quite some time. I'm very surprised they failed.
It's the wolf after the sword, right?
For the Veritas boys.
Yes, Krellian.
Save money.
I'm really not sure what they're trying to prove here. But,
Krellian's primary
would
target.
honestly like
After
to see
Krellian,
this
Cyrus is the primary target.
in the final round, but I don't think
The
it's gonna
Raven
happen.
seems to be
Bob appears to be going for the
painting, I
Cerberus
think. I'm
now,
not sure.
piloted
Yes,
by
he's painting.
Krellian. And he is...
I got your shield.
My shields.
almost
Gunstar, make sure you use your painter. Gunstar, make sure you use your painters.
Is basically
Alright.
They've stopped
Krellian
firing
start.
at me.
with the aid of the...
Okay,
They have stopped
they're
firing.
firing at TWD. They're firing at TWD.
Bob is very, very
Okay,
focused.
after Krellian, the target is Cyrus.
They always have been though.
And that's
Cyrus
pretty
is primary
much it.
target.
Cerberus is
Gone.
down.
This is surgical. Exactly what you expect from Bob.
What do you
They
need, shield?
basically line up the pins and
He's
just
fine.
smack.
Not yet.
X-Man here called it before, saying that Bob was definitely going to hold back, and
After Cyrus,
boys as they moved in.
after Cyrus, the target is Light Darkness.
My Cyrus using Mark Warp.
Beating
Holy crap.
Cyrus.
Yeah, this is just plain and simple 101 arse kicking.
Quit, tell me if they switch target.
Seriously, Bob are basically doing this like surgeon style. It's
I'm
one
actually
after another.
surprised they didn't go, and given the amount of time that Flycatcher went down, I'm surprised they just didn't go for both of these guys.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm only hitting him
once they
for 10 damage.
standard
Cruise missile.
he's just going to crumple.
It's okay. Take it easy.
Use the proper damage type. Okay, Light Darkness is target. Oh no, wait, he's out of my range. Use the right damage type for
The great thing about actually having
Sorry.
5 ships
from being painted.
large amounts of logistics drones.
Switching to Mo.
If you've got the right setups, even if you're
Not
flying
taking any
Caldari,
damage.
they still have
Yeah,
multiple
cruise
drones
missiles on me.
battle cruisers, on the cruisers, on the battleships. So you've still got always that backup, providing you've got
He's
DB
okay.
Preacher.
Mo is
it's
okay.
almost like giving yourself a person.
Have you switched to the right damage type?
That's what our Caldari pilots sometimes do.
Yeah, I just did.
If you can't hit Cyrus if he's out of your range, switch to Light Darkness.
Definitely.
He's gonna be on the target, so
they're
yeah. Let it call it a range on Cyrus. I just switched to kinetic. You should do it in there.
ships.
They're switching to Cookman again?
Caldari ships.
Yeah, that's way better.
PvP, especially in smaller.
Certain drones on Cookman.
But Our first two matches have
What's the stats?
this style on a 5-on-5.
Is that
I'm
Wolf
fine.
actually out of... Oh,
Everyone's fine.
he was almost out of missile range there. The missiles were actually dropping off before they were...
I need something to shoot at,
I'm
though.
actually not so sure if he's
Yeah, shoot at light darkness.
maybe out of the
Well, I do a battleship.
I don't.
He's going down anyway.
If you can't hit
Yeah,
Ceres, shoot at
he's
light
still
darkness.
taking it. That's not.
Ceres down, Ceres is down,
And
switch to
that-
light
Ceres
darkness down.
Wolf is out.
Yeah, the whole of the Bob team have basically got absolutely no damage to him. I mean, Kookman's got a little bit of shield damage that they're still chipping away at him, but he's just basically looking at it and going,
Tell me when anyone needs cap charges.
have I got an itch?
We're
Haven't
fine.
used a single one.
You know, it's that sort of thing.
All good.
It's just not hitting anywhere near hard enough.
80%
to do
sealed on
damage to
Cookman.
Mighty Bob. And plus the fact they've now got no ships to do anything.
Giving you some love.
It's just over. End of story. This, I mean, it's exactly what you expect from Bob. You expect
That
surgical,
shield tank
you
is gonna be
expect
hard to break, though.
You expect definitely.
It will die.
And we now can't see anything.
70% sealed.
Yes, this has been.
Okay.
Caillou, are you remoting me?
We've still got the Bob team. They've got every single one. DB Preacher in his Vulture. We've got
80%
Taylor
sealed.
Sony in his Navy Raven. We've got Gunstar
Okay.
Zero in his Flight Catcher. We've got Kookman in his Scimitar. We've also got TWD in his.
He's got low EM resist.
And I have to say, congratulations TWD. He managed to go through a match without ending up in a pod. I think he's man of the match for that.
Bob's playing this by range.
Yeah, and they're playing it by the numbers.
Raven is trying to close in the range.
Loading one at a time, which is the way, really the
That's
way
okay.
you should do it. You should focus on your most dangerous.
You can micromanage your cap. I'm 100% sealed.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Or they just thought it was an easy pop?
I got everyone
Well,
locked, I can
Raven's
see
still
everyone,
holding
so we're
back,
fine.
but, he doesn't appear to be the.
Yeah, I mean,
Haven't used a single
Mike
cap
Douglas
charge
is now
yet.
taking.
The Raven has stopped firing at me.
and we're just seeing huge amounts of
Look who's it going
The
for.
night.
stuff
It's
going.
going
in.
for me, I think.
He's trying to fight back, but it's only going to be a matter of time before they
No,
him
not yet.
and just take him apart.
The Nighthawk is
This-
still firing at me though.
What can you say? I mean, just
Raven's
We're going for Caillou.
going in there, jumping in with both feet. I mean, we did say off air, didn't we? Yeah, Bob will jump in with both feet.
Light darkness is dying slowly.
They haven't let it
Yeah.
down
Most
at all.
definitely.
Let's just go in and see if we can see what KO Sony's actually doing. We're actually going to try and get in.
His shield is gonna break
see
short.
What's going on? There we go. Let's see what he's doing. He's still got. We can actually see Kookman there with his shield maintenance drones. Let's just take that out a little bit. He's being hit quite hard, but it's not even registering on his shield. It's almost like he's just.
They're using,
swiping a
target
bug away.
beta drones.
It's almost pathetic.
No, he's using
Light
Valkyries.
Darkness is pretty much cut into.
Those
armor
are
now.
target baited, right?
Bob throwing
that's
everything
okay.
they've got at him.
And we've got Gunstar Zero in his flight.
Can I
No.
go grab a... Can I go grab a coffee while we kill this Raven?
Yeah.
That lot. Let's have a look what TWD's doing.
Yes, Con, they're using medium target
Time,
baited,
half
right?
into armor.
Might just keep firing on light darkness, keep us up.
Very little as well.
Bit of help to
Obviously
Gunstar.
He's probably got his drones out doing maintenance, which is all
Okay,
good.
keep Gunstar alive.
Support is nice.
Keep Gunstar alive.
Nice to have someone, have you back.
Most definitely.
Trying.
And, logistics.
Getting
Actually,
shields
second
and
Gunstar
drones.
Zero is taking heavy damage.
got all my rappers
Bob
on.
may not be able to get out of this.
Dagger.
Same here.
Let's get into.
Bob will adjust that logistics where they need to. Now,
Basically,
Raven
Gunstar
and
Zero
two
is
light
doing
darkness is now into.
You should have told me
structure.
sooner because I
Elvirus
couldn't
and
reactivate
Light Darkness, the only two left.
fast enough.
Well,
And
you'll get
Bob
everyone locked, so...
obviously focusing everything they've got on specific targets.
It's
And a much different fight than what we had seen in our first match.
It's normally typical that Bob tend to go.
Elvirus is the last one, right?
Heavy hitting jugular. They like to take out the big boys first. So it was a real strange tactic that they went for. Like the medium ship. One of the smaller ones. I don't
Do you
know.
have your cycle
It doesn't
module
make sense to me.
running,
I
Mo?
mean, the Interdict doesn't really have that much
No.
that it can do in a battle.
Turn it on.
like this.
Do it.
I mean, it's basically a bubble spit.
It's on.
We can say bye-bye to Light Darkness. Probably another few seconds here.
Okay, Gunstar Zero is basically on half armor, and he's taking shield damage, but he's
Raven's down. Fire's Nick.
I think the only reason he took half armor damage is probably because he didn't notice he was being shot.
Light Darkness is gone bye-bye.
Yes, okay.
We have one ship left.
Which is a hell of a ship. I mean, never underestimate the Nighthawk.
He's been holding back. Unfortunately,
Bloody
I'm not
hell!
dealing much
I'm doing like
damage.
point something damage.
I don't know if this would be a warp out point or not.
I mean, basically, Levirus is throwing stuff at Gunstar Zero.
Just use EM damage
The only
on him.
person who's actually taking
Gunstar, are you firing EM damage?
I think they're literally just going
Yep,
for a kill
mostly.
to say that it wasn't a whitewash. Wouldn't you agree?
Totally.
I mean, I would. Yeah, just to save face, I would want to basically at least get one kill in against Bob. Just to
Man,
save
he's got to
face.
have some shield extenders on that
I
one.
know it might sound harsh, but hey, we have to.
It appears that Logistics definitely have the upper hand in this tournament so far. The two teams that have pulled them out, the 5 and now Bob.
I mean, did you also think that the fact that the way that Bob set up with the bonuses with their tracking helped them at all? I mean, the way that they literally took
He's
apart
not
the
firing on me,
spaceships
I'll
was
turn off
just
my hardeners.
breathtaking.
No, at that distance, it's really tracking really isn't going to make much of a difference. Given
Oh, the hardness don't use that much
velocity
cap.
and the speed that those guys.
No,
are
but I need
headed
some
at.
cap to keep going non-stop on
Especially the
Gunstar.
interdictors. One of the main problems with the interdictors is the fact that their SIG is at pretty much.
You don't
at
need to,
par
Mo. If you got the link
with
running,
standard
I can keep him up.
destroyers.
Yeah.
So
He's probably
slap a micro
staggered.
warp drive on that thing, and
it's-
you're making yourself a very, very easy target.
I just thought you had the link running
I'm
from
really
the start.
surprised that in that first
No,
round with the
I
5
waited with that one until we needed it.
I'm not certain that it would have made much of a difference.
This Nighthawk is taking such a beating. I
He
want
is
one.
taking a massive beating, and Bob holding their range.
Yeah, well, he can't do an awful lot to them, but basically that Navy Raven is just going to be out. You know, he can unload, and we all know that Bob Pack attacks.
Did he switch to Twid?
Well, we all know that, and I have to throw this in here. KO has his kitty power, and anyone that knows KO Sony knows
Can I switch to you?
What's attacking you?
his kitty.
There's a warrior attacking.
I had to throw that. In. Sorry, KO.
I
You
don't
clearly
wanna know.
don't. Yeah, no, you really don't
If
want
that's
to
an
know.
in joke, I hope it's an in
It
joke.
is a
because
total
that
in
sounded
joke.
sick.
It is a total in joke. I'm sure IRC is busting up at that one. We don't talk
Bloody hell,
about
can
KO
it
Sony
break
and the
already?
kitty girls.
I would just like to point out that we are not talking about anything that's illegal, untoward, rude, lewd, or suggestive.
Never.
That does come later.
Yes, it does.
And obviously Spiral and JJ will be looking after that side because obviously they are the lewd. the
We'll
suggestive
have
guys.
plenty of time to pick on KO Sony.
Yes, I don't think Bob are going to be going anywhere anytime soon. The Gunstar Zero in that flycatcher is
Finally going to armor, thank you.
Shrugging them off. It's quite funny, really. Kookman's got a little bit of shield damage. TWD's got a little bit of shield damage. KSONY's got a little bit of shield damage, but it's basically like someone's just scratched them on the arm.
And Elvirus
He's
currently
only,
at 1/4 armor. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah, obviously because it's a Caldari ship, he's a shield tank, so therefore we are basically looking at a toasted ship. End of story. He put up a hell of a fight. You know, he held in there a lot longer than we thought he would.
Armor almost gone.
Yeah, he's got good range though. He's quite a long way out.
Structure going.
It's quite interesting. I mean,
Is he moving away or so?
why he's shooting at Gunstar? I mean,
He's
if he
moving
wants to
around.
and try and take out something a little bit easier. And I suppose that is the softest target out of the lot. I mean, and obviously an assault frigate with its resistances and small signature raiders could be a little bit difficult for it to hit.
He's managed to regenerate about 1/4 of his shields now, so he's still holding in there.
Yeah,
just slightly above 3/4 structure left.
I was going to say it's nice when you see a lot of red bars. You just know they're going to be toast. As soon
Give
as it starts
to it,
going off the hole, you
Just a
know.
boost, Mo.
Yeah,
Oh, hang on a second. We've lost the information on him.
hold on.
See if we can actually get that back. Again, the whole Bob team, full shields, 99.9%.
Is he trying to outrun the cruise missiles or what is he doing?
It's going to be all over very, very shortly. Very, very shortly.
Well, in 30 kilometers, he's gonna get
Just need to have a few
insta-popped by the
technical
GMs.
Client. Let's just.
He's firing at me,
Oh,
PWD.
you got him back.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Elvirus,
He's
Also
not
the
looking
drone
pretty.
he's still tanking.
He's like going, no! I will
How about we
not
close in a little bit on this
die."
fucker?
Yes, you will.
Yeah.
Very, very shortly.
Good.
But
But, only Kaio only Kaio,
Set-
only Kaio, only keep their orbit.
damage. I mean,
Kaio start moving towards him.
those command ships, they are one serious tool. I mean, they can just take a beating and still keep ticking. Awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Okay, I've got 2 remotes on the Frigs,
Yeah. So Levirus.
just in
taking
case
that
he
off
switches.
you.
So
That's just heck of a
Yeah, he
shot.
switched again to
Doesn't
something.
Just unfortunately, Bob.
Yeah,
Too
Juan took some
ruthless,
damage. I gave him a
too
boost.
nasty, and
I
too
wonder
good.
what the outcome would be.
it's only a
Bob
warrior
had
shooting me. You can.
Is he almost dead yet?
statistics in this first round.
Yeah, almost.
It's
Now it's
I
like
don't know.
20%
It might be,
structure.
might be a comfort zone thing.
Oh wait, I'm hitting it for 550. Oh,
There
there's
we go.
As opposed to a hack.
And there
Yay!
goes
Okay.
Bob sweeps their
Again.
first match.
Yeah. It's the first whitewash.
Round 2. Versus Opus.
Ich bin Schnappi, das kleine Krokodil. Komm aus Ägypten, das liegt direkt am Nil. Zuerst lag ich in einem Ei, dann schnappte ich mich frei. Schnappi, 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 schnapp. Schnappi, 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 schnapp.
Round 3. Versus Fate Weavers.
Currently tied in first place with Bob and Veritas. Fate Weavers won their first match via
Okay, Cyril,
forfeit
go.
by Opus, and their second match defeating
And
Red
they're
Alliance
starting.
2 ships to none.
Next target is
Lemong.
Lemong.
Man is taking a small amount of
I'm
shield
getting a
damage.
shot by the
That's not gonna
Sleipnir.
last.
Given what happened in the first
Cookman
round,
is being attacked.
I'm pretty sure that Bob is going to clean
Oh,
house.
repair
These
Cookman.
guys, focusing their firepower and removing these ships one at a time.
They're going after the Saber first. 5 Hobgoblin.
Raven is
going
also
after,
firing at
they then
Cookman.
retracted.
Saber
Maybe
for
they got
I
out of
got my
range.
drones on you.
Okay, so to make sure Cookman survives.
Yeah, they're still.
They've got shield drones out, medium
not
size.
having any effect at all. Saber is taking some damage and might be in trouble. Yeah, he's in trouble.
Start going for
definitely
the
going down.
drones, Diane.
If you can't
Also
hit,
note that,
if
Bob's
you
second
can't
match,
hit
as I said,
Cerilon,
it was
go
actually
for Lemong.
forfeit via, versus Opus.
They also
Bob's
have-
Bob is definitely one of the favorites
Lemong
in
is the
tournament
target.
this year.
Lemong is the
The
target.
Scimitar
matches
is
to go.
unkillable here. Has a lot
The
of
Jaguar
light
is
shield
closing
maintenance
it.
spots on it.
Lemong is the target.
Scimitar is definitely a tough little cookie. Looks like the Ishtar, sorry, is the next target.
Keep in
of
mind they
Bob.
have sentry
He's
drones
going
out
to
as
go
well.
down fast, I think.
Not going as quick as I
Keep
had
Cookman
initially
alive.
expected.
Yeah,
I'm
Fate
fine.
Weaver top
Don't
on
worry.
some of the light drones here.
There are
That's
shield
fine.
transfer.
Cookman is
Okay.
still taking a small amount of shield
After
damage.
Lemong,
Getting
the
it
target is
repaired
Obi-Agi.
immediately by both the Vulture, no, by the
That
Lemong is
Ishtar
going down
for-
like a sack of shit.
That Ishtar for Fate Weaver is currently sitting at about 3/4 armor now.
Their medium armor
Yeah.
maintenance drones
Bob
out.
showing no
Smaller ships
signs
take them out.
of any fatigue.
Kaio,
The
you can
Scimitar
stop
being
here.
hit, but really nothing.
Yeah, it's getting shot, but they won't have any effect until all the drones are
Take
gone.
the
I don't know
maintenance
if they'll
bots
have
out,
any
smaller
effect
ships.
then. It depends on what kind of...
There's a rumor been
Well,
flying
there
around
is.
that Scimitar pilot, Cookman, has a full rack of halos installed.
Yeah, he must have Halo implants. It would be stupid not to.
knocking his SIG down to.
They're taking out our drones, so be
The Scimitar
careful.
has an insanely small, like, SIG radius to begin with. And, like,
Pull them in
full
if your
Halos
drones are
knocks
getting
down to
attacked.
50, so.
Yeah,
But
pull them
Cookman
in.
Unlock the
knocks-
drones
It's also
so
another
you
interesting one too. We
can
haven't
wrap
seen
them.
many long-range fights going on. This actually.
It's the
being
small
one
ones,
of
they're
the
taking them down
few.
too fast.
Your fights with IAC have typically been close range or medium range, have they not?
Not really. We sort of keep
Dion,
them
are you
at 40
taking out the
long
medium armor rep drone?
range, but, yeah,
Yeah,
possibly
I'm working
close
on it.
range, but mostly long
Okay,
range is
switch
what
to
counts.
Obi-Agi. Switch to Obi-Agi.
I think the Band of Brothers team here, they don't
Obi-Agi
care
is
what
the
range
primary
it's
target.
at. Their tactic is just as effective at any range. Although
They
not
switched back to Cookman.
Keep Cookman alive, guys.
Yeah.
KO
Seems to be
Sony.
a bit of a stalemate.
Mo-
Bob are kind of lacking on the damage.
Obi-Agi
front.
is the
They
primary
can't really
target.
hurt people much because
really
they're so
are.
focused
Smaller
on
ships
defensive.
kill
They
their
really are.
maintenance
I'm
drones.
kind of surprised by this,
On it.
focusing all their firepower on that.
Painters on
Ishtar.
The
Obi-Agi.
thing is, it seemed like they had a lot of damage output because their last team folded so fast. but-
Maybe KO Sony needs to pull out the kitty power.
Yeah, I think Kayazoni definitely needs to pull out the kitty power.
Cookman is fine, 100%
You know, Kayazoni
shields.
actually, he promised me a free Falcon when I told him some stuff, intelligence. But he never did give me that free Falcon, and
Oh, that's very disappointing.
I asked
So we can smack talk him on air. And who just disappeared? That was the Jaguar
yeah, Jaguar popped.
for Fate Weavers, down to a 3-on-5 here. Again,
Okay, switch
Bob
to Le
showing
Mans
zero
again.
signs of fatigue, but Fate Weavers still holding on here with
Yeah.
a Raven, Sleipnir, and Ishtar.
I'll stay on the
Re-
I think Bob definitely needs to
Relaunch
amp up
your
their damage
drones if
output
you
they
still
can,
have
because
logistic
this is
drones.
just sad.
Yeah.
They can't crack an Ishtar.
Do you want me to work on the sentry drones
We
now,
were
Fred?
discussing shortly before the
No,
fight
take
about
out
the
medium
Ishtar.
armor maintenance,
Looking
but
back on the stats, the
keep
Ishtar's
Cookman
had
alive,
a
guys. Keep
great
Cookman alive. If you
survival
need
rate
cap charges, say so.
tournament so far.
KO Sony,
Teams
Mole,
losing.
keep Cookman alive.
Wasn't there some
On it,
recent
no
changes
worries.
made to the Ishtar that have improved their tank
I'm
since
not
recent
really
months?
sure. I think there may have been some slight changes.
I
Nothing
think there was some
really
minor
big,
changes.
I recall.
Now down to half armor on that Ishtar when it looks like we're speaking too soon here.
Yeah, his maintenance drones are dying. I guess Bob has been focusing on them, and
that
it's
they
not going to
have.
last
Who
too
would you
long.
call next for primary on Fate Weavers? The Sleipnir or
What's
the
the status
Raven?
on
And
Le
kill,
Mans?
kill,
Sleipnir.
kill the
There's no
remaining
reason.
shield
Well,
drones. Kill
actually,
the remaining medium armor
But given that
drones.
we've seen a lot of
Sleipnir
the
I'm on
has a
it.
pretty tough tank.
Leave the drones to me.
a lot of the times. Oh, there we go. That Ishtar back up. He's
Diane,
back
kill
up
the
to
drones
full
as well.
armor again.
Under-
Fate Weavers holding on to this, but still not dealing enough damage.
Yeah,
to
they're remote
Band
armor.
of Brothers.
The Sleipnir has a remote armor pair that's he's firing at the Ishtar.
KO Sony, can you switch to missile launchers
Let's see
to
about Raven. He might have remote armor pairs.
EM damage to see if it's higher than explosive?
KO Sony's holding back, making love to the
All
station
drones,
here.
all the armor
Yeah,
repair
he's
drones are
And doing
down.
a
They've
very
released
fine
I'm
job.
doing
sentry
it.
drone.
Or explosive.
He loves his javelin torpedoes, but of course he can't use them here, so he's just using cruise
And we
missiles.
could, are they does Fate Weaver
Yeah,
keep
KO,
moving
see if you
drones
can
back
find a weak
to,
resistance on the Ishtar.
to work them back up? I haven't
And
really
everyone
been
has
seeing
their
a
target
whole lot
paints,
going on with
target
the
paints on
drones.
Le Mans, yeah.
But that Ishtar for Fate Weaver's back down to half armor
They're going
once
after
again.
the maintenance drones.
And Bob, I can't say it enough.
It's okay.
showing Zero signs of fatigue. Is this Ishtar
Yeah.
even going to go down? I'm actually surprised that this is taking as long as it is.
It's getting pretty low. I guess the remote rapids can't keep up. Maybe the Raven
Yeah.
is actually out of range to remotely
Tank
repair.
is breaking on that
Not
one.
sure.
That
If
is-
so, then they've
That
really
is a
messed up.
possibility. Looks like they've cracked the tank.
Explosive is
Entering
the
into
best.
structure now for the Ishtar.
Alright, stay with
Not
explosive.
Looking good for Fate Weavers.
Uh-oh, it popped.
Sephiroth is the next target.
Or Ishtar. That's a pretty explosion.
Yeah, we had a nice explosion. We were lacking some explosions in the past couple of days. We were hoping to see some of these faction ships blowing up, but we just were not lucky.
Bob seemed to be going after Raven now. At least the Hobgoblins are on it. And
Raven for Fate Weavers called primary.
And
Sleipnir,
again,
looks like
KO
it's
check
gonna be
for the
down to
weakest
Sleipnir
resist-
last, as it typically is.
The
Yeah,
Sleipnir
Raven
has
has a
unlocked
weaker
me,
tank
so
in a way.
please tell me who's getting aggressive.
Well, I think it's going to be interesting to see how long this Raven lasts.
Not being shot.
Does it look like Bob is independently is putting more focus on independently supporting their damage
Who's being
control
shot?
than what Fate Weavers is by using their teammates
Gunstar
and
Zero is
drones
clear.
and secondaries?
Well, they both seem to be remote repairing to some extent, but of
Probably
course Bob
killing
have it
drones.
fine-tuned and they know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
Of course.
So they
They're
have a
killing
lot
drones.
stronger setup and kind of hard to beat.
Another thing too, were you guys using a logistics ship in your setup? We haven't really
Thermal's
seen
best damage against
Bob
Raven.
using logistic ships at all.
Alright, switch
No,
to
we
thermal.
used one in the
Everyone
last
switch to
one.
thermal.
We haven't been using one.
Thermal damage for the Raven.
Was
Using
there
a rapier.
Was
with
there a
40
reason
kilometer
for
web
that?
fire.
Yeah, that's right. You guys had that 40k web.
Well, last time we
Okay,
had
the
a
Raven's
race,
firing
we had a Guardian
on
that was,
TWB.
giving a Kaldari Navy Raven
Just
capacitor, and Kaldari Navy Raven gave him armor back. So we just
You
had
don't have
armor
to
burns
worry
and
at all
blows,
about
and it was
Fate
pretty
Mom.
unkillable.
So the
Handle.
rapier, we haven't really seen a lot of
Gotcha.
rapiers showing up in these matches.
Well, we've
It's
seen several
typically been
Huggins.
Huggins.
All
have been
thermal damage,
definitely
all
the
thermal damage on the
favorite
Raven.
For
On its way.
Well, there's nothing wrong with saying it now, I guess, but Rapier is a lot stronger, survival-wise. It's a lot harder to keep a Hugin alive. And we were originally thinking about using a Hugin, but the only real benefit it has is higher damage output, and it's totally insignificant anyway, so Rapier's better.
I guess that's a matter of opinion. The masses seem to like the Huggins, but the rapier's
I think
holding
the
on.
Raven switched to me
Not
again.
looking like it's gonna break here.
Okay,
just
Sleipnir is shooting to
See if I
TWB.
can get a time limit. I have a bit of a
It's okay, I'll
problem
keep-
local with the.
I'll keep
with
Twid
the
and
computer there to
Gunstar
try
in
and
full
get
reps.
some
I got
times
the
left
cap.
on this. I think we're
You
probably
just worry about
sitting
me more.
maybe around the
Yeah,
8-minute
I got
mark
you.
now. It's
Are the
real
cap
signs
charges
of it
still cool
breaking.
for the
Well, actually,
Raven
this
and,
Raven's sitting just under
full-
half armor now, and again,
I haven't
Bob
used a single one.
showing
I haven't used any
Absolutely,
charges.
you mean, and it's a little
Sorry,
Sleipnir
half
is firing at Gunstar Zero.
half shields.
I know.
And Bob again showing no signs of any.
I got Cookman
You
covered.
know, people were accusing ISC of playing Italy tactics in this tournament because we were so defensive. But, I mean, people thought Bob had nice damage output because they shredded their first opponents, but I think their first opponents were just
You
really
think
weak.
it's very balanced?
What's the
And
status
Bob
of
don't
Raven?
have much damage output at all.
Breaking shield now.
And it doesn't seem to appear that way. They
Going
may
into
have to
armor.
switch it up, but you may end up facing them
Yeah,
in the
indeed.
finals.
Tank
on
is almost
Sunday.
broken.
Well, I hope so.
And you also have a match today, by the way.
Yeah, Chaos Empire. That'll be interesting.
Chaos Empire, that's right. Chaos, coming back to what Chaos pulled a couple days ago, with, or on Sunday of last week.
Tank is broken. You still have
Defeating
cap though,
a
but the tank is
rattlesnake
broken.
with the Typhoon.
Yeah, that was a very impressive work.
It was
And
very
amusing.
impressive, very amusing, very unexpected, and a humiliation for them nonetheless.
I was
Sitting
doing more
half
damage
armor
than
on
you
the
can tell.
Raven now for
Yeah.
They're
Fate
feeling
Weavers.
like-
I think
Yeah.
Bob has
Jones
this in the
again.
bag, but whether we're sitting on a
Yeah, I'm not gonna
constraint
switch.
here,
I
I'm
think
still
I'll manage to
trying
kill
to
us
get
late
that
in
this
info.
point.
No, no,
A
he's
ship
going
that's
into
alone
hull.
and doesn't have anybody remote repping it can only hold on for so long before it runs out of cap or people overpower its tank. In this case, they're not going to overpower anybody's tank because, well, they don't have any damage output.
Yep, going to hull.
See another explosion here with this Raven. Say goodbye to that. Fate Weaver's down to one.
Find out
ship,
what the
over
weakest
one
resist
five,
on that
as
fleet
expected.
there, 'cause he's going to tank
Bob
like a
coming
bitch.
out on top.
Striking
Bob
damage
Yeah,
are
but
as
it's-
well
definitely
on
very
that guy.
strong contenders for the prize.
It's a walk in the
I
park.
think so too, and they had won it last year. But
It'll be very
Besides
interesting to see how they do
using
against
RTs
like
with
LV or
EX.
MC or
that's
have
true.
very good
That's
issues
true.
getting
We
all
have.
he has a very strong team.
CPU problems.
What do you think
that
about
might
how
not be
Stain
strong on
Empire's
cap.
been doing over the last couple matches? that
Stain
they've
Empire
fought?
have been doing very well. I'm pretty
Was that
impressed with them.
Raven
I know,
bye
it's
bye.
completely unexpected.
Okay,
from,
Raid
from
to his
my
neck.
perspective, but they've really come back and dealt some serious blows.
Well, I
Stick with
kind of
thermal
expected
damage.
them to do well from the start. They've always
try
been
to
the sort of
find
more
the
confident Stain
weakest
Alliance.
resist on the
They're
sled.
not. I mean, they're Stain Empire, but the old
Hey,
Stain
you're gonna
Alliance
do that?
doesn't seem to be quite as good at PvP and in general.
Well, that's what happens when we split these
M-
alliances.
Possibly
into two.
kinetic or
Yeah, interesting politics.
explode.
That's right. Hopefully next
Was it
time there's
firing
been
on?
people talking.
Well,
wanting
it's not
to know
gonna be,
about
yeah.
politics. You can submit that, and we can see if we can get to something like that. It's just very hard
I'll
for
switch
us
to explosive.
or anyone in general to really keep track of
Switch to
everything
kinetic.
that goes on.
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
world of
Kinetic.
politics. It's so dynamic and it's so
Okay,
ever
approach,
changing.
approach.
I mean, I
that-
pretty much religiously read the Corp and the Alliance.
Kinetic
books.
damage with the
That's
kinetic
what I
damage
had
and
no
approach
idea.
the
But
guy
that's-
KO,
that's the
very
move
small
in, everyone
percentage
else
of players
keep
that
your arm.
actually, read the Evolve
Yeah, read or
forums.
post on them. I mean,
That's-
there's a lot of
that's-
alliances that you never heard of, even if
That's
you
very
read
true.
everything on the forums.
Very true. Still sitting in the tank here.
Yeah,
And
He's
not,
slowly losing his
yeah,
shield.
he's slowly going down.
Slaker's a great shield tank.
And coming back to it again, we need. So we got there we go. 16:11 on your in-game clocks is when the time will end. So that which means we have about somewhere between 5 and 6 minutes left on this.
Indeed.
Will Bob be able to pull it off? We'll have to wait 5 minutes and see.
Well, I think they'll pull it off. That Sleipnir can't hold on forever. It's going to run out of cap, I think. But,
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. Bob have already crushed Fate Weavers. And
He's trying to
There
run
we are.
away,
And
yeah.
after this match, this is going to put Bob into the top spot, bumping Fate Weavers down. And we still have a match
What are those drones
tomorrow
around him? Oh, never mind, it's Twitch.
in this bracket for
Yeah, it's my Uber Hobgoblin.
Veritas Immortalis.
yeah. I think Fate Weavers did pretty well in this match.
You trained
they
them well.
Worked well with what they had to use.
Yeah.
But they, of course, didn't bring.
I need one more level,
the right
but we'll be
counter
finished
to
tomorrow.
Bob's setup. If there is one.
That they
Okay,
did.
my
But
drones went
tomorrow's
down like a
fight
sack of
is
shit. I don't
Veritas
have any left.
Immortalis versus Fate Weavers, and that fight is going to dictate exactly who's going to make it into the finals.
They went kind of
Yeah,
early
the
as
shield
well.
tank is broken now.
You don't really
Just
have time
like
to
they're
scoop them back
going down
in. When they
within
get
a minute.
targeted, it's too
Yeah,
late.
I think so. And here we go. Entering into armor now, Fate Weavers. Just under 3/4 armor. Bob, untouched. Not an impressive display of firepower. But
Definitely rather disappointing on the firepower front, but I guess, I mean, they're winning, so can't complain.
well, exactly. I mean, we can't really compare it to the likes of the Smash Alliance matches we've been seeing that seem to drag on for. Well, I mean, those guys are carrying
I'm gonna
minimal
turn on it.
firepower, and it's entirely a logistics game with them. Oh,
Try
and
to
no
scoop some loot
explosion,
if you can.
unfortunately. That is, in fact, a win.
Yes. Band of Brothers winning again.
That's it.
The champion standing supreme.
And that will give
Crushing all who
them
stand before them.
the top spot in Group B. We'll have to wait until tomorrow when we'll see the final fight of who's going to take that second spot between Veritas Immortalis and Fate Weavers. Bob surviving once again with
They're
the same
whining
setup
about
they
our
had in the first
firepower.
round. Kaldari Navy Raven, Vulture, Scimitar, Flycatcher,
Yeah.
and Ishkur.
Round 4.
Band of Brothers
Versus Rebel. Round 5.
Band of Brothers
Versus T2.
Go.
Go. Jamel Bottleson, go. KO, move towards that belt.
And we're
Koopman is getting shot.
things are starting to happen. What's
Keep
going to
Koopman
happen
alive,
on this
guys.
one? Bob,
At all costs.
obviously
I'm
we're
targeted,
going
guys, targeted.
of tournaments.
Only
Keep
the
Gunstar alive,
Do you
guys.
think it's pretty much cut and dry?
Mole and
Not so
Gunstar,
certain
kill
here.
the light armor
I think
maintenance
Bob
drones
will
on them.
definitely pull it off.
Kill the
They
light
really
armor
haven't changed
maintenance
their
drones.
strategy. They've been fielding exactly the same ships
There's heavies.
round after round, and as I said before, they've only played
Gunstar
in 2 matches
and
had
Mole
2
kill the armor
forfeits.
maintenance drones.
Yeah. Do you think that's more that teams just didn't
On
want to go
Kiffers
against
is a
Bob
target.
because they
Kiffers
didn't
is a
know?
target.
I don't really think that was the case at all.
Flycatcher for Dusk and Dawn gone down already. We've seen this happen quite a few times in matches where
Tell
they
me if
just
this fits
disintegrate.
Gunstar.
I mean, the interdictors really don't seem to be made up of huge amounts. Armor transfers
Looks like
happening
it's
now
switched.
from the Megathron from Dusk till Dawn onto their Curse to make sure that that's happy. Also, they've got armor maintenance drones.
Yep,
on
the
it as well.
targeting
Armor
Cookman.
maintenance? Armor maintenance? Oh yes, of course.
Need shields and
Kiffers is a
Cookman.
target.
So very soon
Hello.
people have been using shield
Give
maintenance
shields
drones
to
on
Cookman.
Curses before.
No, we've
Doing
had a
109
lot
damage on his
of
power, I think.
cross-repping
With
going on between
No,
armor
148.
Can you-
tank ships using.
Wait, can you kill the drones
having
around me?
Shield drones put on.
Yes.
And in some cases, not too often, but
Drones
we have
gives
seen
it
that.
towards
I think that
Gunstar.
was more of a last desperate measure, is throwing.
They're closing
armor
in.
maintenance
KO,
drones
KO,
on the,
KO,
on the
check the
shield
weakest
tank ships.
resist on the...
Yeah, I mean, I suppose you can look at it
Curse.
in one respect that you've actually got like a twin
start
tank
taking
on it.
damage. Okay, hold on.
Flown by Kookman.
Keep Gunstar alive. Keep this damage. Keep this damage.
It got huge
Kiffers
amounts
is
of
still
shield
trying.
He's not going to be
Doing
going anywhere
160 on
anytime
Kiffers
soon.
now.
Also, we seem to have a
Right.
rather large amount coming from a ship over the left-hand
Okay,
side.
start moving behind the station,
Yeah,
guys.
the
Turn.
Flycatcher, they've transferred most of the drones over to the
90 degrees
Flycatcher
to
now
the right
for
as
Bob.
we're moving now.
Looks like we're going to be
keep
focused
the
in
dark
more on a
painters on
ranged
cover.
fight here. Both of these configs, unless this Navy Mega's moving in, do we see any kind of webs on him as of yet? Are they trying to hold him back?
The Meg doesn't need to be
Escape.
held back because he's using railguns.
Cookman needs shields.
He's taking armor damage now.
Cookman
we
needs
also
shields,
know that he's
guy.
got armor
Keep
maintenance
Cookman
drones
alive.
and a maintenance feed
You're
coming
too far
from
away
that
from
Navy
me.
Meg.
But Bob clearly trying to
Cookman
keep the
moving.
distance here, and both teams holding
Give
at their
Cookman shield,
optimals.
guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be holding at a ranged fight.
Yeah, it does look like Bob are holding a little bit better than Dusk and Dawn, but that's only to be expected. We all know that Bob really do like to hit, and even if they are at range,
Well,
they
armor
will
drones
still
down.
do rather nasty damage. I mean,
Nice.
that Navy
Give us
Raven
still the
and
target.
the Vulture will be able to do very, very nasty damage at pretty good range.
Incoming
that's
hammerhead
Yeah,
shoot
while
with.
not as quick as we saw with
I'll get-
an alliance like Stain Empire.
I'll
Bob
get-
definitely over time their damage has been nothing short of amazing, and also they appear to be relying heavily on
Keep
their
them covered.
Scimitar too, but their support. And I think the individual support of each of their ships is really what
I'm
counts.
running into
I mean, it
the
must
the
have been something we
fairgrounds
haven't
around
actually
Cookman.
touched on much
Some of them.
throughout the tournament. Is the fact that Tech 2 Ammo was
Need shields and Cookman.
It made a huge
Give
amount of
shields to
difference
Cookman, guys.
in the
All shields
last
to Cookman.
tournament. Obviously using precision cruise missiles, because when you start messing around with Tech 2 Ammo, whether it be hybrid or whatever, you can get some very, very good bonuses for damages, and you can hit smaller ships with things. It's very, very good.
But I think the reason that they left those out this year was due to some questionable balance issues. within the Tech 2 ammo itself and also in the faction ammo. So we hadn't seen that at all. So I mean, it's been really good fights so far. I mean, there's been the odd one in there where
Is
it's been
remote
all about
dropping the
tank
Kivers guy?
and there's been really no damage being dealt.
Mole, can you
But,
kill the drones that
in
are
a lot
around
of
us?
later
The
fights,
Hammerhead,
especially
the
with Bob,
Warrior.
I mean, damage is
The
being dealt
Megatron
here,
is
but
remote
Dusk
armor
and Dawn
weapon.
really holding on to it quite well, at least for the moment.
They're
Need
not
shields
going
and
down
Cookman,
as,
guys.
as easily as people would have thought.
Shields and Cookman, keep
against
Cookman alive.
the mighty Bob. I mean, do you think
50%
Bob were
shields?
overestimated?
I don't think that's the case.
Okay. You're not going to bite on that one, are you?
No, I'm not.
That Curse still taking fair armor damage, but not really having a problem with it. Also, the Damnation is also taking armor damage, but it's actually pulling its shields back quite nicely too. Looks like the Scimitar is being heavily utilised by Bob. Huge amounts of shield drones flying around it, but it does actually look like they're being taken out. They're being
Cook
shot
one is
at.
okay.
Not 100% sure by who. So I'm going to try and get clarification on that.
Are you talking about Bob's drones here?
Yeah, around the Scimitar. I did see a couple of them being shot.
Yeah, they are. They're taking them out one at a time. I wouldn't be surprised if they turn around
right.
and pull them in. Oh, they have other drones.
Oh, they've actually got yes.
D2 has some Tech 2
They might
warrior
be out of
drones
transfer
attacking,
range.
And
Okay,
there's a
guys,
as well.
make sure you're
Having a go
not
at
moving out
that,
of range.
That's Scimitar, because obviously if they can take out the logistics, it'll hurt Bob, because obviously that's pretty much a linchpin in their.
But Bob has
setup.
pulled
What is
those
our range
drones
to the
back
field?
in for now, so clearly they're
We're
going to be
okay,
relying on their own
turn a bit to the
individual
right.
abilities, as well as
Turn towards Planet
help
4,
from
but
the
not
teammates
exactly.
outside of the drones
Between the huge
themselves.
planet and
But
Planet
still,
4, guys.
showing very little signs of fatigue, even though the drones have been pulled
What the
back
fuck? How
in.
did I move away? Damn.
And even Dusk and Dawn still holding, only losing one ship, and that being a flycatcher.
Which is nothing.
Get back
really.
in here.
But
Maybe
it
I'm
was
coming.
good
Well,
to
get-
see the last match where they actually utilised the
Kaya, move
Ares
towards
and
Cookman.
the
Kaya, move towards
Harpy.
Cookman.
It was a Harpy. To actually good use, where they were taking in the the drones and
I
stuff.
see these drones here. They just
Move
keep
towards
moving
Cookman.
the
Don't care,
drones
yeah.
for Dusk and
I'll be in
Dawn,
range
just
in time,
keep
don't worry.
Back and forth.
Well, you know why that
Keep
is,
them
don't
covered.
you?
They're just waiting for
I think we pushed my good on
the shield maintenance drones are
Oh,
back
Curse
again.
taking huge hits now. I think the Curse's tank is
Curse
broken.
goes down
Yeah,
with
he's
you.
done.
Yeah, he's gone. There you go. Big pop.
Even still, Bob hanging on to
Alright.
5 of their ships, down
Target
to
is
a 5-on-3
Sasa
now in
EM.
favor of Bob. On the
Sasa
left
EM.
hand
Stop
side of your
now.
screen, we have
We can
Bob,
stop.
Kaldari
Stop your
Navy
ships.
Raven, Vulture,
Orbit
Stop your
Kaya,
ships,
Sonny.
guys.
Flycatcher,
SSA,
and
Iliams is
Vulture.
a target.
And on the right hand side, Dusk and Dawn still having the Navy Meg, the Damnation, and the Ishka.
Still got a couple of drones to
Damnation
kill.
now seems to be the focus of
Alright,
attention by
Sasa
Bob.
Iliams is a target. Use the proper damage
Doesn't seem to
types.
be doing. No, okay, not what Bob are actually working on.
No, the
That
Scimitar is
would
also
be
being assisted. In addition
that's
to
EM and
the,
explosive,
shield
EM and
maintenance
explosive.
drones also being assisted by Chaosoni and the Raven with a shield transfer unit.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what I haven't really seen much coming out of the Vulture unless the drones are owned by him, but I'm not overly
They fucked
sure.
up. The
Yeah, the
Megatron
Ishka
moved too far
for
from
Dusk and
the...
Dawn looks like it's basically being
Curse.
popped by everybody in the Bob camp.
Kinda like
not
I
taking
did.
huge amounts of damage. I'm actually trying to work out whether
Let him
he's
know.
I think he's being target painted. Yes.
Yeah, there's a target painter.
Yeah, that's
Alright.
hurting him now because he's
Explosive
being
is the
target painted. He's
Barely.
taking chunks of
Alright.
his armor now.
Everyone
And it's pretty much
explosive
gonna
on
be
the
8-2
Ishka.
on 5.
If he's tanking too well, we'll just switch to the Megatron.
Maybe not quite as
Um,
exciting.
Keep moving away.
but
Keep moving away.
tactically,
Out of nose
it's-
range
it's
of the
what you
Megatron,
need
by
to
the way.
do.
No,
Because
I
he
think
doesn't
have
what
enough
we
Marauders
we
twitch.
expected from Bob. And the two
Alright,
matches
never
that
mind.
they fought, I think it was the first one was a rather quick match that they fought. And
If
then
he
the
does, he
second
only
one
has
after
one,
we
which is not a
experienced
problem.
a couple of forfeits.
Oh wait, the
we
Ishka is
saw
no
Bob
problem at all.
fight,
Just switch to the
and,
Megatron. The
match
Megatron
was
Termi is
just
the
about
primary
the same
target.
as this. I think
If
people
find
were
the weakest resist
anticipating
on,
a little more
Termi,
power
please,
being
Gale.
dealt. But still, I mean, over time, it's
The Ishka is dying now.
really well for them.
Yeah, Damnation for Dusk and
let's
Dawn
concentrate
doing
on Termi.
armor
The Ishka can do one
transfer to keep that Ishka. I keep wanting
Looks
to
like the
say Harpy.
Megatron is
Keep
going
that
to collect
Ishka
the
alive.
can.
Termi is the primary
pretty much
target, guys.
a good
Find
team
the
effort
weakest
here to
resist
try
on
and hold
Termi.
out as long as possible, but I really don't see what they're going to be able to do to Bob, because up until now they haven't even
He's
been
either
able to hit
trying
them
to
hard
move
enough
away
to
from
take
us, so his
any of
guns
those
can hit
ships
better, or he's
into any
collecting a can.
semblance of damage.
It's actually quite funny to watch here if you're looking.
Yeah, he picked up the can.
Dusk and Dawn's
For all the
drones
cap charges.
faking out
Yeah.
the shield maintenance drones that keep getting.
There are some
popped out by
warriors
Bob
around
in place of
TWD.
the
Please
Scimitar.
kill them.
the drones keep flying halfway and then getting called back.
Okay, when you
So
reach his armor,
it's,
please tell me the weakest resist on Termi.
It's an interesting
I'll
little
take the
trick,
warriors.
but clearly not doing enough here. I think the drones that are on that scimitar are just the little bit of insurance that Bob needs to hang on
What's
to
the weakest resist?
the rest of Dusk and Dawn.
Explosive?
I just
Yeah, it
fired.
actually looks like the
I just
Damnation is
fired.
now
No.
switched its armor rep.
Maul, I need some love.
Yeah, it's actually giving armor rep to the Megathron
Don't worry,
and
baby.
the Ishka at the same time. Obviously, the
Devastating.
Megathron is now taking a bit of a pounding.
Explosive, guys.
Bob,
Explosive on the
I think
Megathron.
he's gonna try and take out the big boy to try and finish this match as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it appears here we have the
All explosive
there's
on
two
the
shield
mech.
transfers going. There's actually two shield transfers going to the Scimitar, one from the Vulture and the other one from Chaosoni's Raven. And then there appears that the Scimitar is also feeding another shield, remote shield rep onto the Flycatcher piloted by Gunstar Zero. But I haven't seen, where has this Ishkur been at? Has he been flying in close? He has, and there he is there too. I don't think much of the
They're pulling
focus
the drones
is
back.
on him at all.
No, that's actually quite interesting.
You want
That
me to move anywhere
TWD and the
different?
Ishka is
Still
actually
moving
still
toward
there
the-
because we all know
Looks like
TWD.
he's
No,
Sure,
it's
so-
okay.
It looks like he's target painting.
He won't be able to
Yeah.
track us at
I mean, it's got to be
This close
one of the
range with
first
the
tournaments
railguns,
that
and he
TWD
only
has
has
actually
one
been
North
piloting
max.
in, and he hasn't been in a pod for 95% of it. So, you know, take my hat
Keep
off to
explosive
you.
on the Megathron.
Go, mate. You know, it's nice to see you keep your ships. On the right hand side, don't forget Dusk and Dawn for your tactical information. Navy Megathron, probably about 30% of its armour going, and it seems to be going down in rather large chunks that it can't pull back. You've also got the Damnation, which is doing armour transfers to both the Ishka and the Megathron, but it looks like it seems to have turned off the one to
What's
the
the status of the
Ishka
Thron?
because it needs to transfer all of its
Half armor,
all of its power
about
to the
60%
Navy
armor.
Megathron.
Tanking
And obviously
very
they've still got the little Ishka flying
10
around
minutes
doing
cold.
whatever he's doing because we can't actually
Yeah,
see
the
it.
Megathron will go down
I
hopefully.
think he's
He's
just
firing at
flying
me.
around trying to do a bit of target painting.
Yeah,
And
okay,
on the
I'm
left-hand
repping you.
side of your screen, we have Bob remaining with all 5 of their ships: Caldari,
He doesn't do
Raven,
very much.
Vulture, Scimitar, Flycatcher, and Ishkur, still holding quite steady and showing zero signs of fatigue. We've also been given word from Oman that this fight will end at 16:53, which is in about 10 minutes' time. But judging by what I'm seeing on the screen here from Dusk and Dawn,
It's
I
not
don't think
gonna last
they're
that
I
long.
don't think they're going to last any more than about 5-6 minutes.
That Megathron's
Don't
only
move too
gone
far
less
from
than
him.
a minute
Stay
20,
within
I'm
30,
sure.
35.
His armor is virtually buckled.
That way
He's
he
gonna
can't
be
hit the
going
small
into
ships.
hull within seconds
Do what?
unless Dust to Dawn can actually do something. No, they can't.
I'll
They're
manage
taking it to hull
the,
now. Once they lose that Megathron, they're going to turn on that down.
Okay, after Megathron's down,
That Ishkur appears to be
after Megathron is down, go for Naruto.
Yeah, the Ishka's
Go for
target
Naruto
is
on
something over in the Bob camp, but
Tank is
it
broken.
obviously doesn't seem to be doing an
Is
awful
the
lot of good.
Scimitar being target painted by someone else?
I wanted to flame ER, but since they wish us good luck,
being thrown around here.
Yeah, that
Wait,
Navy
kill the
Navy
drones
is-
around Cookman.
It's close to being
I'm
dead
telling
as
you. I don't
anything
have-
can be.
Yeah, I'll do
The
it.
Absolution
Together with
is,
Mo.
sorry,
They
the
recalled it,
Damnation
they
is
recalled it.
still transferring
Okay, Naruto
armor
Hunter is next
to
turn.
it, but it's just doing no good at all. Bob are just unloading on
the
it.
Megathron needs
Say
to
bye-bye
die
to
first.
that Navy Mega. That's going to make some
He is
people
dead.
cry, especially those
He is dead.
Now he is dead.
you know, have been saving up their pennies. Lots and lots of ISK.
Should I launch my drones again just for kick?
Tournament so far. I wonder if we can get a count somewhere of that.
Yeah.
It's the only
Okay.
place you can see
Send-
billions of
send them
ISK's
over
worth of
to
ship go pop
the Isker.
for your viewing pleasure.
How come,
Again, Bob,
How come Naruto Hunter has armor damage?
We're on Dusk and Dawn now, showing.
I doesn't
They
have shit.
retarded.
I don't know what to say.
That's
this-
because
this
they
is-
tried to remote
this is like a
repping him
walk
or
in the
something,
park
and his
for
drones
them.
went back on him.
There's absolutely
something,
nothing
I
that
don't know.
Dusk and Dawn has done here.
Oh,
to-
wait, never
to
mind,
even
yes.
get
Close.
close to.
Guy,
make
you didn't
Bob
close in.
sweat.
Indeed. I mean, it's pretty good to say.
When
that
the
Bob,
Damnation reaches
they're our
armor,
team.
please tell me the
They know
weakest
what they're
resist on
doing.
it.
Their fleet commanders.
Yep.
We had a discussion.
I'm only
about
firing
this,
kinetic and-
discussion about it with Ifrit over Cheerios, if I remember rightly. I hate Cheerios.
Why are we firing
Oh,
two targets?
fuck you, Ares. Jesus Christ.
Just dump a bunch of sugar on it.
Well, I tried to, but it's still
Okay,
doesn't
let's
taste
let's
like it.
focus on Naruto.
Anyway, we're
Kinetic are
talking
doing
about
100
the,
damage
the
each.
tournament now, not Cheerios.
Kinetic is best.
We had a discussion about the fact that Bob,
Looks like mine.
Bob's strength and,
Okay,
and
kinetic,
Bob's
guys,
power
all kinetic.
pretty much comes from its quality.
Flycatcher
fleet
should get a bonus
commanders.
to the drive.
We actually made the comment that if they didn't have the fleet commanders, Bob would be nothing. But then
Oh,
again,
we
you
have
can
time
say
to
that
kill them.
about any team. The team is only as good
I
as
hope.
the head.
Yeah.
So you just basically have to make sure you know how to run your team. You have to know your team strengths. You
I
have to
haven't
know
used
your
a single
team
cap
weaknesses,
charge yet.
You have to make sure that you utilise the strengths.
We have
and hide
7
the
minutes more.
weaknesses.
Yeah, I think Bob coming into
Should be
these
totally
matches
enough.
is really not after, you know, dealing
I'm
with
taking a bit of damage
and
from
going
these
after
drones.
DPS, but really
I'll give you some love.
just
I'm on you.
over time
No, it's okay,
beating
I got
them
him.
down and watching these guys burn their cap out. It'd be interesting to see Bob go up against the likes of Ascendant Frontier even, and seeing how they would handle this, and if in fact they would change their strategy or stick with this same configuration that they've been using throughout the tournament.
Yeah, as I say, it's quite interesting. While we've got a few seconds to actually mention some of the rest of the crew that are actually here. Bearing in mind that most of the crew that are actually here producing Eve TV are actually from Eve Radio, and believe it or not,
I have to
actually
tell you
most of
guys
them
that
are
I
DJs.
crapped my pants when I heard
Believe
Lady
it or not,
Megatron.
DJs that talk lots. No,
Yeah, like Spiral and
Exactly.
DJ X-Men and myself.
and obviously don't forget.
But then I
DJ
looked at
Simon,
him.
who's our wonderful,
Sorry,
very,
I'll
very
say,
beautiful
okay, that's cool.
director. There, she got a big smile on her face now.
Giving us a
At
lot
the
of
end of the
Twitter.
day, if you want to find out what we do on Eve Radio, just go to the schedule at www.everadio.com and you can Eve-radio. So, do you know, I always forget the dash. Yes, at www.eve-radio.com.
Oh, and we can't forget. Yes, we can't forget about the guy sitting in the other room controlling all the screens. That would be
He's told.
He's not a DJ.
Back in the last
Urban's
target,
not-
SSA
Urban's
EM.
not a DJ. Urban's about as
Well,
much of a
we
DJ
were
as I
too
am
busy.
a
We
builder.
were too
He was,
busy
explosive.
talking about to Eve Radio to notice that Dusk and Dawn's Damnation has now disappeared from the screen, and it
was only a matter of time, wasn't it?
It really was. Sorry about that, Dusk and Dawn, but I think
Go for
that
the
Bob,
Megatron's
in
can,
this
let's see if
case,
it drops
walked
something
away,
nice.
Is going to, and has for the last 5 minutes.
There's still warriors on me, so please focus.
But congratulations
I'm
to
focused,
KO
don't
for
worry.
making it into the finals.
Not KO,
Yes.
Spencer can go to
Bob.
Thermipod.
We'll be going on to the next round.
There we
The
go.
match after this will be Lotka Volterra versus
Ah,
Sting
they removed the
Alliance.
can.
Again, another one I'm quite looking forward to.
How's it going?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of
Flawless, guys.
Yeah, with our crap.
Good job.
Quarterfinals. Band of Brothers versus Dynamics.
Get all blocked back. Chilo's primary target. Go.
He's back.
Stop moving, Kyle.
Chilo's primary
Get
target.
him back on there. Yes, that's Kookman.
Yep,
Kyle,
so
get a lock on
we
me.
have on
Good.
the left-hand side for Bob, Navy Raven
Helios
being flown by
primary.
KS Sony,
Who's our Helios
Predator
primary?
being flown by DB
Helios
Preacher,
primary target,
the
Alpha
Scimitar
is
being
Shivan.
flown by Kookman,
Lightning coming
Who
in
are-
the
alone.
Flycatcher being
Lightning
flown
coming
by
in alone.
Gunstar
He's very
Zero,
far from the others.
and my personal
guys,
favourite
switch to
Ishka
Yuki
being
cards,
flown
switch to
by the
Yuki
one and
cards.
only TWD.
Looks like Bob's going to
Switch
get
to
the
Yuki
first
cards.
kill here.
Yuki
Not
cards is
surprising
primary.
enough, fielding a
Yuki
tech
cards
one.
attacking Kookman.
Thrasher, yes, they don't hold up very well, do they?
Yuki cards is
They
primary.
really
Get him down
don't.
quick.
And that's
But Kookman is the
not
primary.
a surprising first kill.
No, not really. Depends
Get
on
him down
whether
quick before
the
the,
second kill,
Macaro
which it
gets
looks
in
like
range.
they're going for the slip now of the Stain Alliance. Bob really going for the jugular on this one. They want to see as much
Stop
hurt
moving
as
behind the
quickly as
station,
possible.
Kyle. I need shields and Kookman.
Just double checking to get
Yeah, shields, I'm giving you
some of
shield.
the tactics here.
I'm giving you shield.
Slipknot actually being attacked
Kinetic
and
is highly
target
contained.
painted quite
What's the
horrendously
lowest
by,
resist from
uh,
Yuki
Bob.
cards?
They really don't want that Slipknot around, and they're making a very good
Yeah,
job
I
of
think that
making
was,
the
I
lowest
think that was
resistance Yuki
kind of
got.
odd, and maybe I don't know what exactly they were thinking
Thermal.
by moving
You going down
Slipknot
anyway?
first.
Yeah.
Thermal
Bad
and
move.
Yuki cards.
Thermal.
Bad move indeed. That Slipknot is just being torn
That's-
asunder.
Curse
this
is
is
not
really
in
gonna
Kookman.
throw. I think this is really going to throw
Kyle,
them
what's
for a
out
loop
firing
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's into structure. He's into structure now.
Again, another
Hold on.
impressive command ship takedown.
Wow.
And he's gone.
I
Shifan's
don't know. I
primary
really
target.
don't
Shifan's
understand what
primary
Stain
target.
Alliance was thinking when they did that.
Yeah,
That
that's
Shifan's
just,
just
primary
crazy.
that just
target.
doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Again,
throwing your,
Who's being
throwing
off?
your
Weakest
command ship right into the
Okay, they're
middle
both on
of
Kookman.
5 enemy ships.
They're both not in Kookman.
It's crazy, absolutely crazy. Macarial
Keep your heart
and
and alive.
Ishka,
Keep your heart
and
and alive.
obviously the
Keep his
curse, not
primary
forgetting the
target.
curse
Find the
for
weakest
Stain
system
Alliance
is,
is still
armor.
alive. That Macarial has now been called primary, not unsurprisingly. The curse doesn't really prove any,
And that was the
any real
weakest resist Shivan
danger
has.
to Bob, because obviously the curse is not really going to be set up for damage, it's going to be set up for nozzing.
No one is taken down.
Stain Alliance
Stop moving,
really
guys,
not
you're gonna
showing
move far away from
very well
Kookman.
here. Bob literally just
And
tearing
guys,
them to pieces.
Stay close to Kookman.
at
Stay
will.
close to Kookman.
Just
What is the
picking
weakest
whoever
resistance
they
Shivan?
want to die and
Use
instantaneously.
explosive on Shivan.
They're dead. That Macarial is just being taken apart. I mean, they're going to leave a big pile of bolts in space with that one, aren't they?
Use the
Necessarily.
explosive
We're not
on
seeing
Shiva.
much on him
My
yet.
partners are gonna die
Carl's
for a
can
bit.
really put up with a lot of punishment if they're
Make sure
fit.
you're gonna wreck me.
And I'm sure that would be
Okay,
the
guys,
case.
keep
Macario
going.
piloted by Shivan.
Yep.
The Stain Alliance.
Bob actually not taking any damage apart
if
from
you
a
need to,
little tiny
if
bit
you
of
need
shield
cap
tickle
charges,
on the
Juan.
scimitar.
I'm
If you
fine
need
with
cap charges,
charges.
again,
It does
that's
not see me
a,
faster. Partners are back
logistics style
on.
ship, so he's going to be quite quintessential to keeping everybody
Keep
involved
on
happy
Shiva.
and healthy.
Again, I come back to it. I can't believe that Stain Alliance just threw
Gunstar, are you taking
their
out
command
those
ship
shield walls?
into the middle of that. I don't
they have
understand what
Hammerhead?
they were expecting, and I don't think this
Hammerhead.
Macario is going to last as
Guys,
long
do not
either.
move far away.
As good
How
as
are you moving
as
too far away
great as
from
I think
Cookman?
the tank can be on
Stay
these
close to Cookman,
in
guys.
specific setups, I just don't think it's going to happen. Bob is just dealing so much more firepower.
Partners are
here.
down again.
I mean, they've got shield maintenance drones on the Macario, but the shield is
They're up again now.
100% dead all of the time. Bob just keep hitting and hitting and hitting, and even though he's armor repping
Tank is slowly breaking
on
on
that
the
Macario,
Macario,
he's just
slowly.
not managing to pull back enough. It's only going to be a matter of time before that Macario.
Looks like he's caught up on the station too. I mean, he does have a series of shield maintenance bots on him, but that's really not going to be enough. I think that's the only thing that's holding him together here.
Yeah, the Ishka for Stain Alliance has also
Partners are
gone
off
pop.
again.
Either that or he's just
He's
disappeared.
repping fast.
No, I'm fairly certain he went
Good.
pop.
Yeah, repping to cook.
Also,
One give
Bob
repping
seemed to be taking out the shield maintenance drones that are actually helping out the Macario, but he does look
Partners
very much
online.
like he's actually caught up on the bottom of that structure in the middle of this arena. He doesn't seem to be able to
it's
move at the
gone.
moment, and that's
I-
very, very bad.
I'm really uncertain of what Stain Alliance is trying to do
Macario's
here.
tank is slowly
Because he's
going.
actually nozzing the scimitar of Bob quite mercilessly, but it doesn't seem to be causing it much of a problem with the amount of shield maintenance drones that scimitar's got on it. Plus, he's also
almost
getting
down the
a
hole.
shield transfer from the Navy Raven of Bob as well. I don't think that scimitar's going anywhere. Stain Alliance not really doing anything tactically to change the makeup of what they're doing. The Macario,
Have they
he's
switched target,
gone.
guys?
He's taken more
No
than
I
he
don't
can
see
handle.
anyone taking damage.
Never
And
mind,
again,
no.
I don't see
ladies
anyone
and
taking
gentlemen,
damage.
expensive
probably
fireworks
reloading.
how much more expensive than one of those.
He's down
He's
to the
going
hull.
into hull now. This was a very commanding performance by Bob.
I'm not so sure it was as commanding as we'd like to think it was. It
Yeah.
really just seemed that Stain
Stain Alliance just didn't know what they were
threw-
doing.
It was like a complete disarray right off the bat to get in close and
Yeah.
in an attempt to do damage, and it just wasn't happening. I mean, given the ships that they were fielding, I don't really understand what they
My
were
partners
thinking.
are
by
offline.
putting
I'm
a
gonna need 10
Thrasher in
seconds
there,
again, but I'm not
unless it
taking
was just
damage.
A throwaway. I mean, typically, why
I'm
would you
keeping
do
my eyes
that
on your
when-
shields.
when you have access
He's
to
having
Saber,
trouble.
you're
He's
fielding
missing
a
me.
Macario.
He's
Not that
missing me
it's
completely.
It's a hugely important piece,
Good.
but nonetheless, it just seemed very odd.
It's
like
all-
they
it's all
were.
part of the
it almost-
tactics, isn't it?
it
I'm
almost
not gonna
seems like they're
boost
throwing this
until
away.
I need it.
Colonel Stark. Colonel
He ran for
Stark.
the cap.
Yeah,
And
the
we didn't
Macario
get
was
a pop
gone.
on- we didn't get a
Didn't
pop
an
on him,
explosion. That's
unfortunately.
terrible.
That
It was
is
a dud.
terrible.
We'll have to send it back to the factory.
That is terrible. There's one ship left here, which just happens to be the curse for Stain Alliance.
And that won't take very long before that will
Bob
go down.
once again, and I'd love to call this a commanding performance, but I really can't do it. It was mistake after mistake after
Yeah.
mistake made by Stain Alliance.
Complete disarray on their front.
And
Complete
I
disarray.
mean, this just left Bob in a position
Very
to
nice
rip them
work,
to
guys.
pieces
Yeah.
in
Is he shield tank?
a very little amount of time.
Yeah,
They
he's
saw
shield
an
tank.
opening, they walked straight through and stood
What is
on
the
their
weakest
heads.
resist on it?
Plain and simple.
Ice breaking like
I
a
mean,
fucking
if you
ship.
see a
Like it
weak spot
matters,
in
who cares?
your opposing team,
I
you know,
think
you'd be silly
breaking
not to
totally.
take advantage of it.
So it's just a matter of time before he goes down. Bob surviving
to armor
once
now.
again, losing 0 ships with a Caldari Navy Raven, Vulture, Scimitar, Flycatcher, and an Ishkur.
Yeah, that curse has just gone pop.
Armor
Little bit
gone.
of armor left and just literally
Dead.
ripped its hull to pieces. And we get a pop at the end.
Goodbye.
Good job, guys. Very good.
Fucking excellent, guys.
I don't want to repeat myself here, but that was
Nice
just,
teamwork.
it was just very extremely poor. And I wish we were actually doing interviews so we could
Grab
get
your
on
drones
and find
back
out
in.
exactly what they were thinking.
I'm
Yeah, get
wondering
the
how
loot,
that
the
interview
cancer
would
club.
go. What were you doing? Something along those lines.
I guess everyone who's
So there you
been
go, Stain
hoping
Alliance.
to use
No
Gnosis
longer the
against
Stain
us
Alliance
now
and
is
just a stain in space.
crapping their pants.
Semi-finals. Band of Brothers versus the Interstellar Alcohol Conglomerate.
Looks like
3,
we're getting straight
2,
into
1,
it.
go.
This is what we like
Go.
to see.
Green to free,
I don't
go.
think we're going to see any punches pulled on this one. It's going to be an out-and-out butt-kicking fest. So it should make some good TV.
Let's get
You
inside
get
of
Gets
it.
first
That
blood.
rapier should help IAC keep some range on these guys, but I'm really not sure.
They're,
what's
some
gonna
rings
be
firing
there.
at me.
I'm very uncertain about it. And I
Keep
think a lot
Gunster
of others
alive,
are
guys.
as
Keep
well.
Gunster alive.
Well, bearing in mind that the top 2 ships that Bob are actually fielding are actually missile boats, I don't really think it's going to make an awful lot of difference if they've got range or not. Range only matters if you've got blaster setups. Blaster setups, stop them in the
Try to
tracks.
fire
they
everything
can't
in one
do
volley.
chuff.
Kinetic.
Heretic for IAC seems to be being called
Kinetic,
primary. Bob
Kinetic,
obviously
firing
going for
TWD
first
as
kill.
well.
Heretic
You
is
keep me alive.
basically taking it quite happily. Armor maintenance drones
Kinetic
all
damage, reams
over
of
his
free.
butt. And the flycatcher for Bob also being called primary as well.
They're doing dual
And also a little bit on the Ishka as I don't think
Yeah,
actually
just keep
I don't
both
think
of us
IAC
alive.
actually know whether they want to go for the Ishka or the flycatcher first.
Got one
I
rope
don't
eight.
think either team really knows who to
Kill
go
the
for
drones.
first
Kill the
here.
drones.
And that's
Bull
bad,
and
really,
Gunster.
for these two teams.
Going for the little guys first. I mean, it seems to
On
make
it.
the most sense right off the bat, but.
Yeah,
I think
And the
it may be
twist
just a
one.
matter of time, but feeding these guys cap and on
Oh, and
armor and everything else is just, it's too easy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you look at some of the bigger boys, I mean, it's going to take a longer time to take them out. This could be one long match.
Yeah, I do hope not, though. I mean, I've actually come to expect Bob to be ballsy, to literally go out there and go.
Gonzalez a bit more loving.
I'm going to kill you.
Bob moving back
Keep
here,
more
trying to
shields
put
and
some
guns,
distance
Go on.
between themselves.
More
and
shields and guns.
IAC moving in. Just are they holding?
Mo,
the
you need to
center
help a
now?
bit for now.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean, the
helping.
Heretic is actually it's got oodles and oodles and oodles of shield maintenance drones all over it. Oh, maintenance drones, sorry. So he's basically going to be able to take quite a
Guys, if
beating.
your
We've
drones
seen
get
this
shot,
tactic
pull them in.
before. But IAC just don't seem to be able to touch Bob. They
Keep on
are
range free.
firing
Keep
at
on
them,
range free.
but I can't quite see what they are doing.
Yeah, the damage per second per rate of repair here
Is
is
just
it's
pap.
just too
They
great on
split
that
apart. They're
Heretic
2
for
and
IAC.
2.
Yeah.
But really not, of
Kill
course,
that
looking at
drones.
Bob's side
Mole
of it,
and Gunster,
IAC
kill
really
that
not
drone.
dishing out anything
I'm killing them.
what I would call
All right.
acceptable damage.
No, definitely not. It doesn't actually look like Bob have a huge amount of drones out either. They all seem to be on the IAC side. Oh, they've
Finally
got,
going down.
Oh, and they
Keep
fucking-
moving.
Okay. IAC lose first ship.
Heretic,
Heretic
Heretic.
down for IAC. Bob get
Keep
first
Gunster
blood.
alive.
That's probably not going to change a whole lot here.
Turret,
But
target, find his weakest
still,
resist.
IAC has not lost a single ship throughout this, and no, I am not
Guys,
counting
keep
the
your drones
last
alive.
one in their bracket. where
Pull
they
in your
showed up
drones,
with
pull all in
Tech
your
1
drone.
ships. So
Let's pull them back out.
Yeah,
that is the first official loss in
Turret,
their
turret,
lineup.
turret.
But I think that Bob may just have the upper hand here.
Find his weakest
Yeah,
resist
I
and
think
armor.
so.
It's still
Amazingly
a little
enough,
too
they're
early
going
to
for
say.
Tyrex Thork. They
Honestly,
want that
2
absolution
armor
out of there.
maintenance bots.
This should be quite interesting.
Well,
We've seen how well he tanks.
there comes
but
a problem
having
more
said
out
that, Bob do have the potential for giving really large amounts of hitting.
Tell me what the weakest.
So I'm wondering how much longer he will be able to hold
Kinetic
that.
damage?
Again, our maintenance drones
Yep.
coming out of every orifice
Kinetic
on
damage
that
on T-Rex.
absolution
Kinetic damage
for
on T-Rex.
Tyrex Thork for IAC. Bob's still sitting on all 5 ships: Navy Raven, Vulture, Scimitar, Flycatcher,
kinetic
and
damage on
Ishka.
T-Rex.
And on IAC,
Kill the
on
light
the
armor
right-hand side of
maintenance
your
drone.
screen, they are on a Navy
I'm on
Raven,
it.
Absolution, Rapier, and Ishka. They have lost their Heretic, and they are just pounding on this Absolution.
Fuck,
And
I crashed.
No, they're pounding more. It appears that Bob is pounding more on
on
the
the drones. Yeah, they just I just
themselves,
looked
trying
up and
to-
saw one go pop.
Just trying to
Try to
remove
lock back
them
in.
off the bat.
Try
There's
to
really
lock back in
nothing
one.
that they can do until most of these drones have been removed.
Gunster's back
And,
to suffer a bit.
This is going to remain more of a
Keep
range
Gunster alive,
fight.
guys.
Interesting to see whether the Raven flown by Jim Rayner for IAC is
Log
actually going to
back
give
in
any
the
support to
Koopman,
this
guys.
Absolution
Come on,
and
log
vice
back in the
versa.
Koopman.
It looks like he's
They're still
actually
here.
giving drone support to it. And he's also sending an armor rep to it as well. So again, tight teamwork, making sure that everybody's happy. The Rapier is also sending.
Tell me when you're back in gewoon.
It's just target painting, isn't it?
Okay,
It's target
TWD is web.
painting,
Stay in range of
for,
TWD. Stay in range
IAC.
of TWD, guys.
looks
Come on,
like
are you
the
back in?
Absolution is really the only one, the Absolution for IAC
crashed
played by
from
Tyrex Thork. You'll be familiar with Tyrex Thork because he's been on the sofa for quite some time over the
Don't
past
sound
few
really
days as a PvP expert. But he always had to go at tea time because his mummy called him for tea. and
You
then he
be
had to
log
fight
into
people,
gewoon, zie details
which
en
is
RC.
nice, you know.
Zie
Gunstar
details en
Zero
RC.
for Bob, showing a little bit of fatigue here. Most we've seen so far, but I don't think it's really going to
You
be
be
enough
log
for
into
Rex
Guns-
Dork in his
Yubi, are you
absolution for
listening? Yubi, are you
IAC,
listening?
sitting at about a half armor. It's really a game of who's
I'm
going to
looking
go
now.
first, and in this case, the more important ship here. And
Hey,
what
fuck it,
happened
too late.
to the
Keep Gunstar
Scimitar?
alive, guys.
That
Keep
just
on
got
Terra.
vaporized. Whoa, Bob losing
Oh,
two
sorry.
ships in.
Am I lagging way behind on this?
I don't think so. I think they both just went pop at the
Tyrex
same
tank is
time.
breaking.
Either that or
I'm not sure exactly what happened here. See if we can know.
Okay,
Their
report-
scimitar,
Oh,
Bob's
yeah.
scimitar
Repair
has crashed.
TWD.
This is the second
Repair
scimitar
TWD.
that's crashed. This is not looking good for Bob.
Oh dear, Bob
the
losing
scimitar,
two ships.
The
Keep on
scimitar
Terra.
was really the heart of Bob's strategy.
Yes, very much so. TWD in his Ishka is now
Keep
being
TWD
taken
alive, guys.
apart. Often
Trying.
seen TWD in a pod. I really think he wasn't
Keep everything-
planning on
use your
doing
drones,
that
keep
today.
everything on TWD.
Obviously, with a five-man team, you can fend off a little bit
Everything
better on a
fine, yeah.
small ship and utilise them and keep them a bit more safe. But I think it's all over for Bob now. Now they've lost that logistics ship. That is very, very bad luck. But unfortunately, that's the way the cookie crumbles. If you get disconnected, it's happened to a couple of people today.
Sorry, guys.
You pretty much die.
Oh, this is
is
a big.
bad.
This is a really big hit for Bob. That should not have happened.
Definitely
And like I
not.
said, that scimitar was the heart of Bob's strategy.
Almost
I
like
don't know
linchpin.
if he's going to relog back in or what exactly is going to happen there. This
Alright,
is,
put
this
it
is
down.
really an
Keep on Terra.
unfortunate change of events.
What damage?
Definitely,
Possibly.
definitely. Apparently,
Keep on
Le Monde
direct.
is saying, I will enforce the
It
rules
was
here
kinetic,
unless
please.
IAC
It was
agree
kinetic.
to him coming back.
Kinetic, yeah.
So it's going to be, Tyrex Thork said no implicitly. Do you blame him? No, not really. If you've got a chance to go through to the finals because somebody disconnected, you're going to take it. It's a weakness, it's a chink in the armour, shove the sword in and twist it, why don't you?
Wow, this is going to be completely unexpected here. Bob really being at the top to win this and losing the heart of their strategy
Through
The
no fault of their
scimitar-
own. Not be able to break Terra's
exactly,
tank.
through no fault of their own. But
Just keep on it.
unfortunately, due to disconnects, he really didn't.
that
and as
sucks.
KO Sony had said in local here, that it had happened earlier in the day. But when it happens in the middle of such a crucial match like this,
Yeah.
it really is
It's
unfortunate.
going to mess you up so badly. Pretty much unloading on DB Preacher now. I mean, what can Bob really do? They've got very little hope on this. The IAC pretty much outgunned them 2-1 now, and obviously IAC still holding on to a Navy Raven, an Absolution, and a Rapier. Those three ships alone against a Navy Raven and a Vulture is no match really. You just got too much. Having said that, though,
Well, the
Tyrex
Raptor,
Thork still being hammered in that Absolution. I don't think they really want Tyrex Thork
Been
to
ripping
walk
using
out of here
Tarkhan.
in his ship. They want that boy
What's the status
in
on
there.
that
You know,
turret?
can you blame
Certainly
them?
isn't, but I mean, even if it does end
Oh,
up
wait,
going
huh?
down to KO Sony in the Caldari Navy Raven,
But
I
look-
think that's going to be interesting to see how much he can actually tank of them.
Yeah, I would actually be very, very impressed if Bob actually managed to pull this back, because it wouldn't be the first time. I mean, we thought Chaos had Bob licked last time, but they literally pulled it back. It was 2-1 at one point in the final, and it swung in their favour.
Slowly,
Tyrex Thork is still
wearing him
taking
down.
damage.
But he's not. I mean, he's looking okay here right now. But DB Preacher on the left-hand side for Bob,
KO
and
approach the
Vulture
camp.
still hanging on to it as well, getting
Yeah.
some heavy support for KO Sony. It's nice to see that they can actually hang on,
Yeah.
given that they've lost their scimitar.
Yeah, I mean, this is when you
I don't know if that's
work
such a
out
good
whether
idea
you've got a
since,
team that know what
both
they're
is
doing, as opposed to a team that just go, oh, and they just
It's
all
almost
fall
at this
apart.
point right
Slowly
now,
bring
I'd
it.
love to see Bob really
Okay, slowly,
persevere and
slowly,
come
slowly.
back
Not sure if we
to,
can do it.
At least take out one more ship, and if it would even be possible to attempt to win this match.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're chipping away at Tyrex, but not enough.
a little
I
bit of
mean,
luck
he's
to
got
do
two
this.
armor rep beams on him at the moment, and
Needs
they
to run out
are
of cap.
holding him together. I mean, Tyrex basically being bubble wrapped at the moment to stop him from being hurt. Not stopping Bob from having a good go at him though. They want that boy in an egg. And I think if they keep going at it, they might just get their wish. I think they're doing a little bit more damage than he's actually repairing. I'm trying to look closely as is humanly possible to this.
It is. It's a really tough call as to who's going down first. This is really a battle of the stronger tanks.
I mean, did you really think that the fact that they're hammering on Tyrax is personal?
It's leaking the hole.
He's actually taking.
stuck on the
It is. I think more. It is actually. I think more of a tactical
less
move.
damage.
I mean, the vulture.
They're
the
not
vulture
stuck on
clearly,
anything.
I mean, given the gang modules that a vulture or any of the command ships can handle, can really give a boost to your team. While I may have figured that the scimitar may have been one of the hearts of this, to be able to alter this on the fly and hang on to it like Bob has so far, really showing very little signs.
We'll use the second best damage start.
Of any fatigue here.
I thought you had more for 20 minutes.
It's nothing short of amazing, but T-Rex Thork, unfortunately, seems to be coming right back up again.
He's actually got 3 armor reps on him now, so unless Bob actually manages to get in there and take out one of the lower ships,
he's been
I don't
down
think they're
the
going to take him
structure and
down.
he's up to about
They either need to
20%
flinch
armor.
and switch, which I think they should have done probably about 30 to 40 seconds ago. Really, what they should be doing is unloading on that rapier.
Lamond right now has called it. Match will end at 21:15 in-game time, and if it does end up coming down to that,
Are they firing on you, okay?
IAC may just walk away with a win. But at the present time, 10 minutes is...
Tyrax has lost his armor. His armor is gone, taking chunks out of his hull. Tyrax is going to go down. This is beautiful.
This could be an amazing hit to their strategy and take a lot away from IAC.
Oh, yeah.
T-Rex Thork down.
Is gone.
Jim Rainer's target.
He's
Jim Rainer's
toast.
target.
I'm saying it.
Jim
He's
Rainer's target.
toast.
Find his weakest resist.
That's it.
EM
I've got it out.
probably.
It's
EM
my
probably.
system.
We're down to a 2-on-3 here. Bob on the left-hand side. So with a Caldari
use it,
Navy
go.
Raven and a Vulture. And on the right-hand side, we have IAC fielding a Caldari Navy Raven, a Rapier, and an Ishkur. This is really a hard hit to IAC's strategy. Are they going to be able to hang on? If Bob really does end up pulling this off, this is going to be one of the most amazing matches that we have seen so far in this tournament. I can't even imagine what we're going to end up seeing in the finals.
I'm hyperventilating here. This is a match of the century. I mean, we thought the final was going to be good, but this is just literally nail-biting. I'm sat on the edge of my
What's the
seat
stats from Jim
going,
Rainer?
oh, this is what we want to see.
We're
Yes.
Kittling his armor.
It's actually nice to see Tyrax in a pod.
His armor tank.
I wonder if he's smiling now after saying, no, you can't have your scimitar back.
Are you doing any damage? I'll switch to you. I'll switch to you.
Take this Raven out. Ravens appear to be
Are you doing
primary
damage
for
to
both sides.
wait, no,
Chaos
no.
Sony on the left-hand
Stick
side,
to Jim Rainer.
piloting
Stick
the
to Jim
Raven
Rainer.
for Bob.
Stick
DB
to Jim
Preacher
Rainer.
below him in the
Ian's doing a lot less
piloting
damage
that for Bob as
to
well.
Jim
And on
Rainer.
the right-hand side, Jim
You will run out of cap.
Rainer, Ubi Savisalo, and Tigris.
We got a nice shot of Tyrax Thork's pod there.
Use thermal damage.
That's a
Use
rare
thermal
view,
damage.
a very rare view. But ladies and gentlemen, that's what he looks like in an egg. Cracking. Sorry, had to do that one as well. Jim Rainer in his Navy Raven, obviously being called primary by the Navy Raven and Vulture of Bob. These two boys working as a double team like no other we've seen.
I'm fine.
And I think it's only going to be a matter of time before they take Jim Rainer down. And then that Rapier is going to get... Well, he's going to have things done to it that you really don't want to talk about in public, let alone see on TV.
The remaining Rapier and the Ishkur for IAC cap transferring to the Caldari Navy Raven piloted by Jim Rainer. I don't think it's going to be enough, and Bob will hang on to this, coming back after being down 2 ships to 4.
A little bit.
Sorry, I'm just sitting here laughing my
He's
arse
going
off.
down.
IAC obviously
have
thought
to
they
fly
were happy
slowly,
and
slowly,
they were going to
slowly.
take this, no problems at all. And Bob have literally just turned around and gone, take that, boys.
Wow, what
I'm watching your shield
what an
cam.
amazing comeback!
Upset.
I don't think I could have asked for a better match.
No, definitely not. I've got a huge grin on my face now. This is what we are tuned in for. You are seeing PvP pilots that can do things
Ever
you
so
would
slowly.
not believe. Jim Rainer and his Navy Raven
shield
putting
guard
up a
going down,
valiant battle, but unfortunately,
Yeah.
since the linchpin
Down
of the
to
Absolution has
25,
gone,
30,
all the
he's
gang
boosting up
modules
to
are
about
now
30,
out of play
35.
for IAC. It's just the Rapier, the Navy Raven. Oh, and don't forget the Ishkur, flown by Tigris. Always manages to, help out there. giving cap transfer directly to that Navy Raven, but it's not enough. He can't
Wow, I can't believe we're going to win this.
the amount of damage that the Vulture and the Navy Raven of Bob
not over.
are dishing out.
We have 6
Bob
minutes.
went for a
myself, what do we do?
reasonably good damage output, and it has proven to be good.
What's his shield status?
We thought it was bad news when they lost that scimitar, but I
15,
think it just
20.
really...
No, it really wasn't, and it was awesome to see Bob come back and really persevere against that situation, which I mean is extremely rough. And
Do you
I mean,
know-
it was that absolution piloted by T-Rex
Boosted to
was
15.
the heart of that operation, and the Rapier being
10,
probably the
5.
secondary. But now with the Caldari Navy Raven on its last legs,
Bleeding
I think,
to armor.
this is going to be
Boosted
it
to 5,
for
10.
IAC.
I really honestly think that when that scimitar pilot disconnected, it pretty much turned Bob really, really pissed off, and they went on Incredible Hulk on IAC, and it was smashing time.
He's an honor.
He's lost about
They
What
are
is the
literally
time?
doing
What
the
is the
job.
lost
time
about
left on
10%
here?
armor,
It
perhaps.
is- We have a
Still
match
boosting his
end
shield.
time. I believe it was 21:10.
5 minutes.
If I'm not
We've got
was it
5 minutes
21:10?
left.
Still boosting.
Jim Raynor
Bleeding
now
into
going
armor each
into
time.
Lamond actually telling us we've got 5 minutes left, so that's pretty much all good.
Unsteady
Johnny
on
was
count.
15, so yeah, we have just over 5
50,
minutes left. Jim
55.
Raynor going into armor now.
Yeah.
Looks
Boosted
like he's got a
shields to
reasonable
fire.
power tank on that car
There's
as well.
there's no way he's gonna be
He's
able
gonna boost
to
his
hold
shields
this
a little
off for
while
another
Kyle
5
reloads.
minutes.
And then they're just
50
going
armor.
to turn on that rapier and
That's going to bring it down. But if two ships survive at the end of that 5 minutes, which I think is highly
40
unlikely, is that going to put us into an in battle? Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
35
Because
armor.
That'll be 2 and 2.
Boosted shield.
But I really don't think in that amount of time. I really believe that KO Sony can and DB Preacher can dish out enough power to really take out the Rapier and or the Ishkur in that amount of time.
Yeah, I really think if CCP wanted to make an award, you know, some nice
Still
little
boosting
thing
fields, he
that
still
they
has
can put
count.
on the mantelpiece,
How much armor does he have left?
that basically says at the
About
bottom,
15.
extreme
Rapier
odds,
is cap
and we
transferring
still
it.
kicked ours. It has
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be given to
just stay on
Bob
the
for
Raven.
this match, because that was a
Yeah.
serious piece of work. They just
Bleeding to
literally
hull.
turned and said, okay, we've lost our linchpin ship. Doesn't bother
Kyle,
us,
I
we're
hope-
still gonna
I
kick
hope
him
you're
out.
That's it.
joking
Jim
in
Raynor
local.
for IAC now in
I'm not.
construction.
They
is
aren't fucking
Caldari
reloading.
Navy Raven. If you're having a look at the screen here, right
Kyle,
on the
move
top
your launchers,
right-hand
move your
side.
launchers.
And that's
Yeah,
going to
they're
hit
not there.
IAC in a
He's in
huge
the hull.
upset.
Huge. So huge, it's bigger than the planet we're looking at behind that Raven. Huge upset. I mean, this is Eve TV at its best. This is PvP
50
at its
hull.
best. And coming up next, we do have the finals, which is looking very much like it's going to be Bob
30 hull.
versus ASCM.
Lamont calling it at 3 minutes left, and
He's down.
there goes the
Okay,
Caldari
UV's next.
Navy Raven in just a
Go
puff.
for UV. UV's
We're
next.
pretty much going to see, I'm fairly certain they're going to turn on this Rapier now just to finish it off. They've got 3 minutes to do it. This is awesome. Awesome displays.
Yeah, I don't think this Rapier's going to be able to handle this either. And that's going to be the end of this match. I really cannot believe that.
Just for your information, IRC is going mad
Well,
all
you
over.
have to admit that everybody said Bob are nigh on unbeatable, and they really have walked the talk. They put up, they stepped up, and they've done
So
the
with
job.
that, Bob is going to move into the finals versus Ascendant Frontier, which should take place as soon as they can get everything set up.
Definitely. Are we having the Q&A battle?
I'm not entirely certain on that. I believe it's
sure
going to
we've got
happen at
time.
some point, but I'm not sure at what time
I
that's
think we
going to
just
happen.
gained about
We'll have
5,000
to find out
fanboys.
about that to see exactly what's going on. Literally ripping apart the Rapier now. He's into armour. I think they've pretty much
What's the
given up.
weakness just on
IAC
the,
put up a valiant battle there. They thought they
I
had it
did.
at
I
one
don't care.
point.
I'm just shooting things at
Bob
it.
did a Bob special.
Right.
They
I'm
bobbed,
throwing
they weaved, they came
forks
back
at
with
him.
a right hook and knocked IAC clean out.
He's into
KO
the hole.
for the win. Definitely.
Fuck,
And
Uber.
it's just Tigress sitting in the
seriously thought we
Ishka.
had lost.
I wouldn't want to be sitting toe to toe with a Navy
I was
Raven
totally convinced we
Vulture
lost
if I
that
was
one.
in an Ishka. That'd be scary.
No,
Right.
I really wouldn't. I really wouldn't want to see that. But given Bob was down to come back with that kind of power, it also sort of gives way to what the next team may have to do if they want to take Bob out of this, knowing that if that scimitar is removed from Bob's lineup, that the two boys at the top can still dish out enough damage.
Yeah. This is crazy. Even DB Preacher said he thought they were toast. That's not my words. That's DB Preacher saying a local. I thought
He's
we were
out of
toast.
my range. Can you close in on
Amazing comeback there for Bob. Awesome display of teamwork between KSONY and DB Preacher in the Navy Raven and Vulture.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely
teamwork to
amazing.
extreme.
I really thought, and I think at least judging by what we're reading in local here, that Bob thought as well that that the scimitar was the heart of that operation, and leaving that scimitar out and coming back and showing what a Vulture and a Caldari Navy Raven can do to make a solid comeback like that is nothing short of amazing. And it's going to be a tough one in the next round if they're going to be able to top this match with Bob versus Ascendant Frontier.
Yeah, and the Ishkur of IAC still has a Hobgoblin Tech 2 flying around valiantly, taking pot shots at KSONY's Navy Raven. You got to give.
Not much.
No, there's actually two.
Not much they can do here.
He's sitting there going, "Is that a bug on my shoulder? Can I just scratch that off?"
Whoops.
Okay, we're going back over to the studio now. Didn't even know where we were going back to. So over to you, Spiral.
Can you shoot this guy?
Nice one, KO, mate. Nice.
He's down.
You guys rock.
Whoa.
Best raps I've gotten ever.
Good job, guys. Good job.
And welcome back. This is the Interceptor battle. For one moment there, I thought Spiral was never going to shut up. We've actually got a beautiful picture of Le Mans' corpse, frozen in space. We've got a Crow battle coming. This is going to be a long one.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, we're looking at most likely Rockets versus Rockets, MWD's ablazing, and flying tightly in a fine circle. So yeah. We'll have to wait and see. But hey, you never know.
We might be surprised. We
might get a nice surprise out of it.
We can only live in hope. Thanks, guys. Sounds like the pub's open. Are we invited?
I think not, but on the left side of the screen we have Ascendant Frontier in a Crow.
And on the right side we have Bob in a Crow.
Mr. Fix is flying the Crow for Ascendant Frontier, Gunstar Zero flying for Bob.
Here we go. They've started the merry-go-round. It's loopity-loopity-loop time. Who's going to go first? Oh, we've got Target Painter. Someone's got a Target Painter out. Someone knows what they're doing.
Oh, and first hit by Bob.
Yeah, Bob hitting Mr. Fix quite heavily there. Crows don't last very long when their shields go. And his shields are gone. Looks like Bob really know what they're doing. We might be surprised on this. Quite
Yeah, we were
badly
expecting
surprised.
a little bit of a longer match here. Have we seen him?
I don't think the Ascendant Frontier pilot has actually hit Gunstar Zero yet.
He's got an armor rep on as well. Not that it really makes a difference
No.
in an infight.
Yeah, definitely. Again, this is going to be very, very, very long. And Mr. Fix is the only one taking damage. Gunstar Zero not even being touched. Can we get a shot of actually seeing him front on so we can actually see whether he's actually got
He
missiles?
does. I think the Ascendant Frontier end has rails on it. He does actually. I didn't even get in close
He's
on
put
that.
rails on a Crow? Are you insane?
He definitely does. Looking in closer at it, I didn't notice that at the beginning because I automatically assumed that this was going to be a rocket fight. But I think that, judging by what's going on here, Bob's going to win this.
Oh yeah, that's clever.
Well, ASCN looks like they've just thrown this one
in the bin.
In the bin.
You put railguns on a Crow?
Too easy, man.
Craziness.
And that's an understatement.
Oh my god, I thought the last match was
very mammoth. It's good to see. I can't believe it.
Okay.
Like congratulations, definitely. I mean,
Gunstar Zero.
Really respect. When we come back, we look at the match and for the 25-30 minutes that it went on for. I mean, you can't
Nice
blame
response
either
from
team,
local Gunstar.
for it going on as long as it did. Both had exceptional setups. It met up in the finals.
He's
and
crying
there
that it
really
wasn't
a whole
fair
lot we
or it
could do
wasn't
about
right.
And
I told him it was from my point of view.
Crow Rails versus Gunstar Zero.
We wanted a Crow.
And a Crow with rockets. The way it should be.
Yeah, definitely. I saw anyone take a crowd anything other than